Okay, let's go ahead and get started. And if other folks join in, that's fine. Um, so today we're going to do a little meditation on this human life that we have and all the potential that we can uh, uh, actualize through this human life. So kind of looking at all the conditions that have brought us to being here right today and the opportunities that we have to work with this life. So let's go ahead and start today, as we usually do, with just a few minutes of silent meditation on the breath. This gives us a chance to focus the mind a bit. And if you have a technique you already use with the breath, you can do that. If you need a suggestion, then generally I encourage people to work with the area around the nostrils where you feel the sensation of the air coming in and out. And just staying present with that, not following the breath out or following the breath in, but just staying present at that point. And then whenever the mind wanders, when we see that that's happened, we check in and, notice that the mind is not on the breath. Then we let go of whatever it was that distracted us and bring our awareness back to the breath. So again, we'll do this in silence for a few minutes, just giving ourselves a chance to focus the mind, and then I'll lead you in a short reflection to set our motivation, and then we'll do our meditation on this human life and all of the opportunity that it affords us. Okay, so I'll ring the bell to begin the meditation. So now let's set our motivation for doing meditation this morning, recalling this mind of bodhicitta. It recognizes that each and every one of us has the potential to develop our minds into the state of Buddhahood. We have Buddha nature. It's simply a matter of doing the work, of removing all of the negative tendencies, all the obscurations in the mind, and fully developing all the positive qualities. So once again, today we commit ourselves to that path of awakening, of working on our minds in this way, so we can be of greatest benefit to all beings. By developing ourselves completely, we can then lead each and every being perfectly to attaining that same state. So hold this awareness for the meditation today, as well as throughout this day, so that all your actions become a part of the causes that will eventually result in that state, your own enlightenment, so you can help all beings in the same way. So first we're going to contemplate the nature of this human existence and see all of the advantages that we currently possess, the freedoms that we can take advantage of. And begin by reflecting on the fact that you were born human and not in some other state. If you don't have a conviction in all the various realms that the Buddha taught, you can at least look at the animal realm. We can observe animals and see that while our pets, for example, have a lot of leisure in their lives, they don't have the opportunity to study the Dharma, to meditate, to develop their qualities. And moreover, of course, these states of being born as an animal are states of great suffering. Most beings that are in the animal realm suffer unbelievably, have great fear for their lives, suffer from the elements. So just spend the first minute or two reflecting on how fortunate you are to not have been born as an animal or in any of the other states that the Buddha taught that are less fortunate, and to really relish this idea that you have been born as a human through the force of your own good actions of the past. You have this human existence. Just feel great joy at having found this, but again, begin to see this as very precious, that you have this human life. And moreover, think about the good fortune that you have in this human life to have been born with your faculties complete. You can use your ears to listen to teachings. You can use your eyes to read the Dharma. And you can use your intellect, this human intellect that is so amazing, to analyze these teachings, to change our minds. And feel really blessed because there are some human beings who don't have their faculties complete. Feel this amazing good fortune at having had the use of your faculties to be able to study and practice the Dharma, to meditate and so on. And once more, feel great joy, but see this as an incredibly precious opportunity that you currently possess. And then to think about the fact that, yes, we have this human life, our faculties complete, but we can use this to practice the Dharma because the Dharma exists in this world. Here we can reflect all the way back on the fact that the Buddha appeared in this world and taught the Dharma, that Dharma has continued to be practiced and upheld by so many individuals throughout the centuries, that the Dharma is now accessible and available in our own language in this world. If we were born even 100 years ago, we wouldn't have had the access to the Dharma that we currently possess. So feel this amazing good fortune again of living at a time and in a place where the Dharma exists and can be practiced and studied. And feel again the preciousness of this opportunity that we need to take advantage of. And reflect on that for the next few minutes. So having reflected on these facts, we should feel this amazing joy at our good fortune. They say it's like a pauper coming across a great treasure. This treasure of this perfect life that we currently possess needs to be taken advantage of, though. Let's examine in the remaining meditation how we might do that. The first opportunity that this life affords is to create the causes and conditions for another life like this. At the end of this life, our consciousness will go on to another existence. It is important that we spend some time in this life creating the causes for our next rebirth to be good. And reflect on these, the first one being, of course, our practice of morality. We have to create the karma for a good rebirth. Good rebirth doesn't just happen. It needs its most important cause, which is our own practice of virtue, refraining from killing and stealing and lying and so on. And secondly, look at the resources we have in our lives currently, the good fortune that we possess in terms of a roof over our heads, food on the table, all the things that we take advantage of that help us to have the leisure and opportunity to practice the Dharma. We have to create the causes for those by practicing generosity and so on. That karma will assure that we have good resources in the future. And then lastly, we also need to make these stainless prayers, these strong aspirations that we gain a rebirth like this, or even better than this, being born in a very opportune place with complete access to the Dharma, with a community to support us on our path. So spend some time reflecting on these three: good morality, practice of generosity, making stainless prayers, and even begin to cultivate those prayers, those aspirations in this time together, wanting to use this life at least to create the causes for another good rebirth. not only can we create the causes for a good rebirth with this life, we can accomplish, if we're very fortunate, or at least begin to create the causes for more ultimate results, the results of liberation and enlightenment. This is a more ultimate purpose or meaning of this life, is to engage in developing not just good morality, but concentration, cultivating wisdom, practicing the six perfections. All of this we can do with this life. If, again, we are quite fortunate, we can attain liberation or enlightenment in a single lifetime. But at least we can use this life to begin to cultivate these practices, to begin to accumulate the positive potential that we need to accomplish complete enlightenment. So think about how this is also a way that we can use this human life quite meaningfully, is to create the causes for those more ultimate goals. Begin to think about how important it is that we do that we take advantage of this life and use it in that way. So in this way, we can see that this life has meaning in every moment. In every single moment, we have a choice. We can acknowledge the good fortune that we possess and use it meaningfully and purposefully, or we can simply fritter away this human existence that we work so hard to attain. And we have all these perfect conditions. But this would be an incredible waste if we were to not take advantage of what we currently possess, especially given the fact that this life is fleeting and temporary, that death can come at any time. We need to have that motivation to use every moment of every day as best as we can to further our own development, to attaining a good rebirth in our next life, to attaining the more ultimate goals of liberation and enlightenment. Just hold that awareness and make a determination in your own mind to use this life in this way. Okay, good. Let's do a short dedication, dedicating all the positive potential that we've created so we can accomplish this path to enlightenment using this life very, very well, taking advantage of the opportunity we possess and making the most of this, not just for ourselves, but for the welfare of all sentient beings so we can benefit them to the greatest degree. We also dedicate for the good health and long lives of all of our precious teachers, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and so on. All those beings who are guides for us and others, that we may continue to be in their presence, that they may have good health and long lives. And then lastly, dedicate for anyone that you're holding in your heart right now, those beings who are experiencing some form of difficulty or suffering, having obstacles or illness, who have died or who are dying. Send this positive energy out to those beings with this motivation that they be free from their suffering and that they find all the causes that will lead them to true peace and happiness. And may this happen for all beings. May they all have everything they need to be free from suffering and to attain complete welfare and happiness. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed today with all of you. Keep in mind, I don't know if Matt announced it earlier, but we're going to continue doing the meditations over the holiday period, give you an opportunity to have some continuity of practice, although we won't have much of our regular programming. So I'll look forward to seeing you all again sometime, perhaps during the remainder of this week, or certainly next Tuesday morning. So be well, everyone. Stay safe.